George Public House in Tower Bridge Road, South East London, 100 yards from where the old Kent Road meets the new. It's a pensioners' party, one of 4 given every year by Jeff Oliver, the licensee, and paid for by collections from younger customers. Old Cockneys enjoying old songs, taking help from their neighbours as they've given help in the past. That's how people got by in Bermondsey when times were bad, helping each other. Bermondsey. Its boundaries are drawn in feelings rather than lines on a map. And the feelings there all the way from London Bridge to Rotherhithe, south of the river, down to the Elephant and the Old Kent Road. It's packed with people all living together in little houses and old buildings, all trying to make a living as best they can. Some not making a living at all. Others helping themselves to what's not theirs. But in the old days it was the docks that men looked to for a living. The docks or the markets. Trying to make a bob or two down Tower Bridge Road or up East Lane.
We started half a crown about 25 years ago. After 25 years, still the same price now. Very, very good for the chest. Recommended by Dr. Rossi of Paper Place. Any more old age pensioners? Not half a crown. 2. The ladies are wise shopper.
Hey, Sandy, but you like got that boat today?
Yeah, it's 6 foot. Tenner with a no sweater, that is. Tenner. Hold up, now, no waste to me. 10 CD after for a tenner.
Almost to Bricklayer's Arms, right down past, say, to the end of Marigold, or past the end of Marigold, there was a long line of stalls. Most of those stalls belonged, in them days, to people who lived in the side turnings, their brothers. Well, that makes an old group of people getting their living from market wear. When they get into a pub, say, there'd be half of them interested in the stalls. And then you've got your docks. And you get, say you get some of those in. They're all friends and neighbours. That makes a group distinct from a place where there's no market, no river. The people have to go in various sorts of factories. So you get 300 or 400 people along Bermondsey, sort of friendly.
Get cleared a bit of swell. Now mind the swell. Mind the swell. Come on, touch a bit. Oh, only really due to be friend.
People didn't travel too far to work, did they? Couldn't afford to, one thing. So they worked near. And if they lived near the stalls and worked near the stalls, on the evenings and weekends, them sort of people all met. That made a group, a close-knit community.
And then we got their children's children and their grandchildren, and they still recognise you and still know you. So good night, Miss Page. Good night, son. Good night, John. Good night, Teddy. Good night, everyone.
We all mix together as one. And that's how it should be. To have equality and equity amongst everyone you know. And never think you're one above anybody else, because you are not, because you've been through the same phases of life.
We're all one family, all us Bermondsey lot in here, really.
We're all the Marigold girls. We know our manners, spend all our tanners. We are respected wherever we go. We're rolling down the old Kent Road, all the windows open wide. We are the Marigold girls.
I live over there now, across the road. Not 100 yards from where I was born. But when I was born there, I could trust everybody I knew. I could trust myself with any one of them Londoners. Any one of them. There was 18 houses down there. I could walk in 18 houses. If I wanted a mill, I'd get a mill. If I wanted a night's sleep, I would get a night's sleep. Can I now? Can I? No.
Nah, you've got to be out for yourself here, mate. You've got to be able to help yourself, or else you go under. This is Bermondsey. You've got to have it the hard way here, boy. And if you're not careful, it'll take the laces out your boots.
Tom Bushnell lost his eyes from measles as a 6-month-old baby. That was 71 years ago, and ever since he's made an independent living for himself in the neighbourhood.
I've got by on my merits, Ken. I've got by being an individual, like, you know, when we getting me living by my wits and doing different things, you see. For instance, when I think I was 16 at the time, I walked along the road and went to the costermonger and bought some orange boxes, put them on a barrel, got someone to put them, and from then I sold loads and thousands of them. Then I was introduced by someone else into the sack business, buying and selling sacks, you see.
He's the most fabulous man I think I ever know for his ages. There's nothing he can't do. He don't use a stick or nothing. If he wants to go from here to New Cross, he'd get there all on his jack like. Anybody would help him. If he wants to get anywhere, but he's a very independent man that way.
Tom, really?
That's the finest thing a blind man can have, is independence. Do you know that? And I don't like it now because I'm not so independent as I used to be.
Right, got your keys?
Every lunch hour, Lizzie, the next-door neighbour, comes home from work and gives up part of her break to see Tom to the pub. It's the sort of neighbourliness that's readily offered, but which Tom acknowledges with reluctance.
You can't grumble. You don't expect them to nurse you, actually, do you? They have been good to me. I'm not complaining. I don't think I'm complaining. Oh, yeah, they have. They've been fair to me, I'm not saying. I've had a certain amount of help from them. Don't think that. I don't think hardly of them, but they're very worldly, you know.
The grudge in Tom's acceptance of the help he gets is more a protest against the physical changes in the neighbourhood which have taken his independence away. For they all say that once he walked about like a man with sight and even helped neighbours home in the blackout.
When it's been very foggy, I have, and there's no doubt about it, led people out crossing roads and different things. You know what I mean? And then I've told them when they got across the road I've been blind. See? I led old girls across from the pub to the other side of the road and told them afterwards. I mean, one time, roads was all right to walk about. Now there's flyovers, subways, everything else. You know what I mean? I could walk about on my own, never used to use a stick or nothing. But not now.
Well, I think to myself, the elephant. Well, I think if you didn't go out much, you wouldn't know where you were. Up the elephant.
We must have change. I don't advocate that we don't have change and progress, but the way all the houses and things are coming down, the way they're pulling these streets to pieces, it just peeves me. I mean, all these little back streets to me are the backbone of the nation. They really made the nation what it is. These are the characters that make the English, the British, whichever you like to title us as, you know, make us what we are.
Jack Taylor is a self-taught painter, better known by art collectors than by people in the Old Kent Road. His paintings are bought all over the world. Princess Grace of Monaco has one. So have Michael Caine and Richard Attenborough. But his inspiration comes from, and his concern is for, the people about him, the people he's known since he was a boy.
My mother and father were born on the Old Kent Road. As a matter of fact, my mother and father were married at the church just at the top of the road from here, where I'm painting now at this moment. But as far as the Old Kent Road's concerned, to me, it's a place that seems to draw me back no matter where I go and where I've been. The streets that run off the Old Kent Road, all the little streets that run around there, in those streets, one could walk through it and being observant enough, you could pick up so much material, so much education that you never get anywhere else. All the schooling in the world, yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any other school could give it to you. What I find about this neighbourhood today, at this present time, I'm getting a little bit frustrated with what's going on today. Because all the old folks and all the old things that people knew and used to see and look at and enjoy seem to be disappearing. I call this one Grandma's Heritage. Now, to me, myself, thinking of what must happen to these old girls when their little houses are being pulled down, they're being pushed off into something fresh and something new. To them, it's a sort of catastrophe, you know, something really drastic is happening in their lives. They can't accept that the change is good for them, that these sort of new modern places they go into is good for them. They just don't accept it. They prefer their old sort of setup, something they've known, the house they've been born in, and grandfathers and parents before them, born before them there. They just don't change like this. You can't expect old people to change their ways overnight.
That's better for the youngsters. See, well, us old girls, well, we are, us people, we like our own little place and we've been so used to it. But I don't think I'd like to live in a nice big one like that. I'd rather be where I am. The girls today like their houses all look nice and polished and all carpet and all lovely. Well, they're young, aren't they? Well, we never had that.
We couldn't afford it.
No, and we wouldn't have them now, would we?
Oh, it was all right as we were, though.
Yeah.
Chest of drawers, that was good enough, and like a curtain in front. Boards for the floor, no lino, no nothing, but boards you could eat off of. And there was no detergents. And there was nothing to do your washing with. No detergents. Common soda, a bar of sunlight soap. Down the board with a scrubbing brush. And rubbing down the bleeding board. Rubbing, yeah. I've still got one too.
Poverty made people fighters. It was poverty that made fighters of men. Some was only prepared to fight for a dinner, to provide for their parents and their brothers and sisters.
I think Bermondsey has won more Lonsdale belts than any other district.
A youngster leaves school today, starts work with 10 or 12 quid a week. What do we want to know? Poverty created fighters. When you're hungry, you might have no idea, might be a peaceful, docile sort of person. But the mere fact that you could earn half a quid or a pound by having a fight, oh, that was it.
So I says to him, if I get beat the first shillings, how much do I get? He said, you get 10 shillings. Oh, that's 10. Take some drinks, so I go home. Anyhow, that night, the night of competition, I had 3 fights the first night. And I came home to my wife's in bed with my kid. So she said, how'd you get on, Joe? I said, I won 3 fights now. She said, thank God, we'll have some dinner tomorrow. I said, I don't get paid till the competition's over. So she said, well, it's a penny packet of cocoa on a man apiece. Have a spoonful of that and save a spoonful till tomorrow. It was hard days. It was hard days.
They was fighting from the day they were born, fighting for survival.
I used to say that.
To live. It was a fight to live. And down at the docks, well, there were so many boxers, came from the docks. Dockers, they were part-time boxers and part-time dockers. Not that they wanted to be, but there was no work about it. It was such a struggle. 10 men chasing one job, or more, perhaps 40.
It was hard, docks them days, hard. Yeah, it's a little lead ticket. Put your number on it. Now, every now and again, a checker will come on, a man will come on checking the numbers. Now, say you went out to go to make water. You're missing. You write your number on the floor. You write your number on the floor. That means, say, go and get paid off. If you was away for say when the first hour's work and your number was on there, you was paid off. Nothing. You get one hour's work and have it. Yeah, it was hard days.
Joe Rolfe had the talent in his fists to escape the insecurity of casual calling on at the docks. He fought as a professional welterweight in the 1920s and 30s. He was never a champion, but a favourite with the crowd.
He was a great fighter. He fought all the best in England. He fought Len Harvey, Elfman Senior, Johnny Brown, the old welterweight champion, Alec Island, Elfman Senior, all the best of Jody. But he never got, never got what you say to the greats. But he fought them all.
What's the for, please?
I wouldn't say that Joe made a lot of money. He owned people a lot. He was a great attraction. When he boxed at the ring, the house was packed. He had a great lot of followers, if you know what I mean. Well liked. And he could put up a show. He wouldn't lay down if you... A tough boy, and he could punch with both hands. Oh, a great fighter. If he'd got some money today, old Joe would have. Yeah. When the family's not earning a lot, they'd box for £1, wouldn't they? Oh, yes, 1930, that's all they'd get. £1, might get 25 bob, son. Wouldn't get no more. I went once to the National Sporting Club with the old National, with Georgie Ball of Bermondsey. He was a middleweight. He was boxing Jim Carr of Reading. Jim Carr of Reading. Now this is a gentleman's club. 10 rounds. The winner to get £9. The loser got 6. Or £6. My friend George Ball lost. He got £6. I'll never forget that night. My old mate got a terrible hiding. He was very strong. And I said to him, why do you keep on, boy? He said, I wanted an extra £3. Now, how much would them men be worth today? Boxing.
In 1919, I won a competition. I won a 6 guinea cup. And we shaped down the water side them days. And I said to the chaps, I said, when we go down the club tonight, I'll show you my cup. As I tell you, that was hungry days. And I got a day's work. And every time when I come home, I expect a bit of bread and cheese, a cup of tea and a bit of bread and cheese. And as I'm walking upstairs, we're in the back room. As I'm walking upstairs, I smell, that smells nice. When I get up there, she's got a big joint of meat, big joint. I said, where'd you get your money from? Where'd you buy the money? She said, I pawned your cup. I won it on the night time. It was in pawn the next morning.
Well, dear me, very few families would have survived in Bermondsey without the pawnbroker.
That's if you had anything to pawn. You had nothing to pawn. One woman used to go around all the houses, all the different, bang on the door. What you got to pawn? See? And she'd have a pram, or a bassinet, as we call it, pram. Then how much you put on? And she'd come back with a pawn. They'd give her 8p for going. Well, she'd pawn all the parcels, have all the money, different parcels. There's yours, there's yours. Yeah. That was the good old days.
people don't realise that the poverty that abounded. If you speak to young men today and to tell them what you had to undergo or what others had to undergo, they'd laugh at you. They'd say, I wouldn't do it, because they can't realise how bad it was.
But they'd have a good idea in Blendon Row off East Street Market.
I'm only 29. But I mean, since I've been married, I've only lived in slums. Since I've been married. And I don't think you could get worse than this. So, I mean, I can't talk about before the war. I only know what goes on there.
Sending rockets to the moon and literally putting men on the moon, that there's families there where the 3 old families have got to share one toilet. 3 families got to share one toilet. In all, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 people sharing one toilet, which I think is disgusting in a day and age when they're putting men on the moon, isn't it? I mean, they should get things done right here on Earth before they start doing things up there.
But this day and age, I mean, let's be fair about it. Nobody should be infested with rats, should they? When we first lived here, my Michael now is the age of 12. He was frightened to go to bed at night for fear of rats. And they'd got in the woman's flat up the next block. She thought it was her cat. She had a cat, mind you. And she thought it was her cat, and it was laying in bed with her, the rat. My little boy went to the toilet at 7:30 one morning. He sits on the toilet seat and it's come out the hole in the toilet, over his legs, literally right over his body, and gone in the hole behind him. And then I heard him coming through my kitchen. You can literally hear him munching the floorboards. You know, they must be all underneath this floor, and they must be all underneath here. One morning the rat woman knocked on my door, and she asked me if I had any rats. So I said, no, I haven't got any rats indoors. I said, but there's plenty of rats down the bins and out the back. So she asked me what colour they were. So I said, I don't know what colour they are. I said, you just see them flying all over the place, you know. So she said, are they grey or are they brown? So I said, I don't know what colour they are. So I said, oh, you're the rat woman. I said, you should go down and see for yourself what colour they are. She wouldn't go. So she said, oh, I'll just jot down that they're brown. And that was it. She went away. But they play outside my front door. I opened up my door the other evening and there was 4 little bees looking at me, 4 little eyes. And wouldn't go. I slammed the door again quick, you know what I mean? My husband came running out. They just hobbled. Because they got so used to you. See, this is it. They get so used to you going backwards and forwards that they're not frightened of you. Well, it's like one day the rat man from the town hall came. He came round with his little bag full of rat poison. So he said, where are they mostly? So the woman that lived over there, she said, well, they're underneath that tin. There's a nest of them there anyway. She said, because I can hear them of a night, squeaking. So he puts his hand in a bag and on his hand was the rat food and he put it in and it come out and it ate off his hand. Up went the bag and through the window he got and he said, never seen nothing like it. He said, they're just tame. They just set it right from his hand. I can't keep my front door open. If it's late at night, I can't sleep with a window open. I have to shut my window as soon as it's getting dark. Winter or summer, the window's got to be shut because they climb through. I've got the rats out the window, the rats out the back, the rats in the block. I am literally surrounded by them. We're all looking for the one thing to be rehoused and better ourselves. I know people to move on to estates that's come out of here and they say it's not like Blendon Row. They're not so friendly as Blendon Row. You know. And I believe this because I've seen them over the new estates. They go in, they shut the door. And they're in. They've got their bedrooms and their bathrooms. They think this is their life now. But I would like to move to a new estate where everybody was friendly, you know, know one another. Like Blendon Row, but newer, you know. But I know I won't find it when I do go.
See, but when we come over, it seemed that everything was shut out. No one
It finished.
seemed to come
When
to
we
us.
come here, it seemed to be finished. Like the life we had.
Well,
We had a good life.
Tony Murray cantering through here on the Ruba. Car 13, we haven't seen it, with a breast girth there, Velvet Night. This is the filly here, Barrow 4.
It's just broke up. See, all the friends we had are all moved out. See, they have to come out because it was all slums, see. And they're all moved away from us and we've got nobody.
This is the way they build these flats. You can't get no neighbours, you know what I mean? Like, you can't make friends. So you're isolated. Well, we're isolated from all the other people in this block.
When my boy comes up here and he says, I don't know how you can sit in here watching these four walls all day. He said, it'd send me mad. Well, if anyone else comes up and say, how ever do you sit here and do nothing? I said, I couldn't do it. So I said, to know where you should always go out and always enjoy yourself, and this is what it's come to. It don't seem true. It's not right.
Here goes coup de feu. This could be the last.
I think it's changed according to how the world has changed. And of course in those days there was no television, was there? So you never see this for sale or that for sale. When they're up to their in debt, who do they come to? Their old mother, their old father, for help.
I'd like us all to live again as we used to. I'm not going to say our old houses, because the youngsters wouldn't live on them now. I'd like to see them all come back with us, all of them.
All you see now is youngsters wants to mix with youngsters, us nothing. We're nothing now. Not if you're the mother. You're nothing.
We're past all fashions now. No? Yeah. Only put on a mini once and I was abused. Well, my daughter thought I was showing too much. She said, Mother, for God's sake, put a longer skirt on. You've got nothing to show now. Little did she know.
We shouldn't be here. We shouldn't be here. You just talk to yourself about that. I want to be here.
Well, the youngsters have married and moved right out, haven't they? Half of them are going out the neighbourhood. See?
The work was in the district. Hayeswall, Cottonswall, Mark Brown's, Bucklerswall. All the walls along there employed a hell of a lot of men. But today, they've moved away. The work's not there. That's why the community's broke. So they broke the community, didn't they, that way? By stopping the work in the dock, closing the docks and the wharves, and also by slumming the area. Those old neighbours who you've been talking about parted, never see again, do they? Some will, but the majority will never meet again. There must be a hell of a lot from Brother Eye, that's the Surrey docks, right the way down to London Bridge. A lot of jobs lost there, wouldn't there? Yeah, right the way down. And how many worked in the Surrey docks at one time? They started to travel like since the war. They broke them up to finish up with everything.
They've travelled in search of work. They've been forced to travel by housing policy. It's too late now, but what if the local authority, instead of pulling down these houses to build sky blocks, had chosen to modernise them instead?
Yeah, they just stayed, because our kids was good little kids. They were good kids, all of them. Everyone round our old block, all the same, wasn't it? All round here, wasn't it? All the same. You could go in and ask anybody to come and get your hand and you'd be got free. In fact, you didn't have to ask them. Now, I laid up in my place 3 weeks, 3 whole weeks. And I had a young woman next door and another one along the veranda and that. And she'd come in every morning, evening and night and wouldn't take that. That was Joycey. Yeah.
Bacon School, one of the local comprehensives, retains its Harvest Festival service at Bermondsey Parish Church, bringing offerings for the neighbourhood poor. Until recent years, this mainly rural practice was kept up in most of the local schools. Now it's in decline, just as the annual event which linked this part of London with the countryside has passed into history, hopping. Not many years ago, in the first weeks of September, these fields would have been full of southeast London families picking hops by hand. Today, a handful of foreign students have replaced them, scything down the bines ready for the machine sheds. Hopping was an annual event looked for with excitement in the boroughs, a time for renewing old friendships.
And when the hopping season comes round, we all get up and bothered, think to ourselves, oh, we're going down Kent again and meet all our friends again.
We'll start with, now you say, I ain't got our hopping letter yet. Wonder when we're going to get it. All of a sudden, the postman to come here, deliver the letter. Find out well now is, yeah, I know it's here. It's here, be all wells, please. Get ready. I'll go get the boxes ready, make sure the wheels are greased and all like that. Go round to her mother and say, Nell's got her and you got yours. Then Mama turn around and say, I ain't got mine yet. Wonder if they're going to bar me this year. Wonder what I done wrong last year. And all this reaction like. And, of course, that's enough. Mama get her on the next post and Mama come running round. Got my letter. Come and give us a hand. Yeah, I'll see you all right in the morning. We'll get him all up. What time are you going?
It was just like a little community. See, where'd you come from? Bermondsey. Where'd you come from? Oh, Kent Road. Where you come from? Oh, Elephant Castle. It was just that round all the time. And we had met every year, see?
The concrete floors of what were 600 hoppers' huts scatter the fields like memory stones at Whitbread's farm near Paddock Wood. A dozen huts remain for those few families needed to work on the machines.
I know years ago, me and Nellie's turned our nose up. They said, oh, wouldn't you like to come in the hop machine? Oh, not us. We're over there, then, aren't we? See, it's the hops in us. We must have the smell of them hops under our nose.
Though the work has gone, the memories persist everywhere, up and down and just off the Old Kent Road.
It's only our hopping that worries us, because we can't have holiday now.
come to us.
I never go nowhere for holiday. I can't afford holiday. No, Hopping was our holiday because we knew we were going to earn a few shillings to spend.
Never had holiday in my life.
No. We all went hopping, and it was lovely down hopping. That was what the poor people's holiday was.
Miss Marjorie, you knew you had beer there. You knew you had beer. The good old stock ale. Well, and pints of that. No half pints, pints. With a shilling on your glass in case you nicked it. And the kids used to come round and they used to watch anyone put their glass down, go, blimey, when you look round the next minute it was gold. They'd run in the pub and change it for the shilling. That's the truth. That's the truth, yeah. And outside the pub on a Saturday night and a Sunday morning was just like a fairground. With carts, horses and carts, traps and ponies, all the gypsies, everyone. We all mixed. We was all one.
12 o'clock at night on London Bridge Station, we used to sit out there and wait for the train to come in.
All night? Well, unless you ain't got no money.
Yeah.
You know, enough money to pay for your kiddies. They used to bung them under the seat. Get under there before they come.
Mother would hide you underneath what's the name, and your coat and say, right by the ticket collector, or you bunk over the side and get into the train.
Remember it, so vivid. My mother, she'd take 6 of us, and she'd get 1.5 tickets. One, I was the oldest, she'd get half for me, but the others she would push forward in front of me, say to the collector, all right, our mother's coming along.
Yeah,
and bang, they daresn't look back, no, straight on. Oh, it was simply marvellous in them days.
In Bermondsey, everybody was hot picking, weren't they? No matter who it was, and they'd get their old prams and all their old luggage on, up to London Bridge on the milk train.
Because we used to go to London Bridge about 2 o'clock in the morning and get out the train about 4, didn't we, in the dark, with just an old cart and all your bedding on top of that.
And our bed was made of straw.
And it was comfortable.
And it was beautiful. But you had to look after yourself in case you got lousy. Yes, you'd be hopping all over the place for the first couple of days.
I used to take one of her little brothers hopping. Took her once. But you never come home lousy, did you? Oh, I used to knock me wallop.
They say, all right, 10 o'clock, they open 10 o'clock.
Up you go.
Just going behind the blinds, won't be 5 minutes. Away they go, up the pig and whistle. Oh, blimey. You wouldn't see them no more, not till they come back. Crates of beer on the field, all round the bins they used to go. Drinking and drinking, yes. They get the measurer drunk, so he wouldn't know how many bushel he was taking out.
I know my mother and every majority of people, they look for hot picking. It was their holiday and they look forward every year. And my mother, God rest her soul, she used to have it like a little doll's house. She'd have the curtains up and everything. And
Curtains up round our bedside, make it like a manger. Lovely.
10 in a bed. Kate, 10 in the bed, women up the top, men down the bottom. And they get mixed up in the middle of the night. Who was their wife? We only had a pole for the loo to sit on, and we used to have to hold one another on in case one fell in. Yeah, one day my husband come out, he'd been drinking port wine, he went on the straight. So he drank port wine. Of course that made him worse than anything, didn't it? So he went in this little hut with the pole, you know. So he sit there nice and comfortable, thought he was nice and comfortable. All of a sudden, a bull put his head in the door and he went, woo! Right over he went, right over he went. Right over, he come out the colours of the rainbow. We couldn't get the stink off him for the week. That's the truth.
it was enjoyable, but when I look back today and I say, oh, our times have altered, you know, to what they were them days. I mean, they're going to Mallorca and going to Jamaica and all them places. Them days, I'd never heard of it.
it's a memory more or less, you know, and it's living on all the time. Now next year, I'm planning up for next year already. I'll be down hopping again. No, I mean, the girls asked me to go away with them this year. They went to Tenerife, didn't you? They wanted me to go. I said, oh no, I'm having my holiday down hopping.
Say hopping's lousy, don't believe it's true. We only go down hopping to earn a bob or two. Bring the T-I-O, C-I-O, T-I-E-I-O. Say hopping's lousy, don't believe it's true. We only go down hopping to earn a bob or two. Bring the T-I-O, C-I-O, T-I-E-I-O. Hops, we're picking the hops. When the measuring comes down, pick 'em up off the ground. Well, comes the measuring, doesn't know when to stop. Aye, clear the way, but pick the bloody hops. We're picking the hops. When the measuring comes down, pick 'em up off the ground. When you got the measuring, you never know when to stop.
Everybody was healthy that went off picking. We used to come back black, colour, you know, and the weather always seemed to be at about that time was bloody marvellous.
We had the same September years ago as what we're having now.
Today, yeah.
Yes.
It's amazing, it is, yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. When you think of it, Dan, they were hard times, but enjoyable times, weren't they?
It's all our best days. We look forward to going. Actually look forward to it. But when you think today of how much they paid us, we never thought of it in them times, though, did we? Well, for the amount of money you got, we call it was hard. And things have to go, don't they? They must go. They say the good times have gone, but they're not. They've only altered. Must alter. And a boy today, say 10, when he's 20, 30, he'll say, 10 like when I was a boy, it was lovely. You say the same. I've said the same. But it's still lovely for those who're 10 and 12 years of age. When they're 40, they'll say, never be like when I was a boy. But their children will say the same again, won't they?
Good morning, dear.
We make them days feel the best, don't we? I think we want to.
Miss Widdowson, I'm from Bacon's School. This is our Harvest Thanksgiving present.
Do you know that's the first parcel I've ever had since I was retired? It's nearly 8 years ago. That's honest.
Ah.
Thanks very much. It's very kind of you. Come in handy.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Look, it must be better, because from birth to death, they're looked after in some way by the state. We never had that.
No.
What did you know about orange juice, cod liver oil and all that? Or our mothers? What did they know?
Oh, my goodness. What a lot for one person now. I don't know what to do with it. So I'm not a very big eater. Never mind. Would you like the cake back?
No, it's all right.
All right. But goodbye, and tell them thank you for me, won't you? Yeah. Please.
A song called My Cup Runneth Over. Serves it right. You shouldn't have filled it so full. In the morning, when shadows are deep, I lie here beside you, just watching you sleep. And sometimes I whisper what I'm thinking of. My cup runneth over with love.
Whether there are hard times for the young people, in their way of thinking, they're really not in the way of an older person thinking. They're better dressed, the younger people. And they're better homes, much better. More money to spend. they say the good times have gone, but they're not. They've only altered.
I think it's changed according to how the world is changed. A person can't change all what the youngsters see now they want. They earn bigger wages. My husband only earned £1 a week when I was married.
You went short. You went short. Look, everybody went short sometime or other. But there was always a, what do you call it? The friend in need. There was always somewhere there. 18 houses, 18 friends. What one didn't have, the other one did.
Look, it must be better, because from birth to death, they're looked after in some way by the state.
Give me London years ago with 18 houses in one turning where you could trust everybody. You could go in anybody's house then. But now you try and do it now. You walk in anybody's house. You couldn't do it.
They had nothing to pinch. You couldn't pinch much very likely. Nobody left doors open who've got anything, do they? Nobody.
Seeing if this had been 50 years ago, I could have walked out there penniless, homeless, and knocked at anybody's door. Could I knock at anybody's door tonight?